Hello, my winter-weary garden soul. Welcome back to Golden Garden Moments, the place where we find warmth in the smallest green shoots and light in the longest nights. I see you there, wrapped in your favorite quilt, staring at your wilting peace lily while snow piles high against the window. I feel that ache, the one that whispers, "My plants are struggling, but I can't afford fancy humidifiers or grow lights." That knot in your stomach when you see brown leaf tips on your fern, or watch your citrus tree drop buds as radiators blast dry air. I've been there. Years ago, after a brutal Minnesota winter, I lost every plant I owned. I sat on my kitchen floor, surrounded by dead leaves, wondering if I'd ever feel that deep green peace again. Then I walked into my local dollar store and saw a plastic tray filled with forgotten potential. Today, we're not just saving plants, we're saving joy. Over the next hour, I'll share 8 dollar store DIYs that transform cheap treasures into plant saviors. No crafting skills required. These aren't Pinterest-perfect projects. They're messy, real, soulful acts of love made from dollar store bins and thrifted jars. I've tested every one through polar vortexes, drafty old houses, and years when my budget was tighter than a drum. So unplug from the chaos. Pour yourself spiced cider. Place your palm flat on your windowsill and breathe. Let's wrap our plants in dollar store love together.
DIY number 1. Homemade humidity trays from plastic trays. Look at those brown-tipped leaves on your maidenhair fern. Now imagine them lush and green again, all for 83 cents. That's the magic of dollar store humidity trays. Winter's cruelest trick? Stealing moisture from our air and our plants. But here's the secret. Plants don't need expensive misters. They need still water evaporating slowly beneath them. I discovered this when my $20 humidifier broke during a blizzard. Frantic, I grabbed a plastic serving tray from the dollar store bin, filled it with pebbles, and placed my fern on top. Within days, new fronds unfurled like green prayers. That's not luck, that's physics wrapped in tenderness. Why this works? Evaporation science. Water evaporates slowly from pebbles, creating a micro-humid zone around plants without wetting roots. Cost truth. Plastic trays cost $1. Pebbles from driveway cracks are free. Total investment, less than a candy bar. Plant savior. Saves humidity-loving plants like calatheas, ferns, and orchids from radiator death. Space magic. Fits under any pot, even on narrow window ledges. Golden Garden Moments DIY ritual. Gather 1 plastic serving tray, $1. Small river pebbles, free from nature or $1 bag at dollar store. Distilled water. Use tap water left out 24 hours to evaporate chlorine. Build. Fill tray 3/4 full with pebbles. Pour water until it's just below pebble tops. Roots must never sit in water. Place pot on pebbles. Maintain. Refill water every 2 days. Wipe tray monthly with vinegar water to prevent algae. Pro tip: add a drop of liquid kelp to the water. It feeds roots through the air. Sacred moment. During the 2021 power outage that froze my pipes, this tray kept my grandmother's African violet alive for 17 days. One morning, it bloomed, a single purple star against snow-covered glass. I pressed my palm against the cold window and whispered, "We're still here." For renters, use disposable aluminum trays, dollar store baking aisle. No pebbles? Layer marbles from the craft section. Place near heat vents. Steam rises to your plants. Warning: never let pot sit in water. Root rot kills faster than drought. If leaves yellow, lift pot and dry pebbles in the sun. This tray teaches true care isn't about grand gestures. It's about holding space for quiet renewal.
DIY number 2. Upcycled grow light reflectors from foil pans. Watch weak January light hit your sad seedlings. Now imagine it amplified like liquid gold, all for 2 shiny dollars. That's the power of dollar store foil pans as grow light reflectors. Winter's deepest theft? Stealing daylight hours. But here's the secret.
Light bends. With a curved aluminum surface, you can multiply your window's glow 3x over. I learned this from my Ukrainian neighbor Baba Olena, who grew tomato seedlings in her dark basement apartment during the 1990s famine. She'd line cardboard boxes with foil pie pans from the dollar store. Her secret? Light is free if you know how to catch it. Why this transforms winter growth? Reflection science. Aluminum reflects 95% of light, glass only 80%. Curved pans focus rays like a satellite dish. Cost truth. 3 disposable pans equals $1. Cardboard box equals free from the grocery store. Total cost? Less than a postage stamp. Plant Lifeline saves seedlings, citrus trees, and herbs that stretch toward distant windows. Space Saver fits on any shelf, even inside kitchen cabinets. Golden Garden Moments Light Ritual. Gather 3 disposable aluminum pie pans, $1 for 12-pack, sturdy cardboard box, free, non-toxic glue, $1, scissors. Build. Cut box to fit your windowsill depth, line interior with foil pans, shiny side out, overlapping like fish scales. Curve pans gently to create a bowl shape. Glue securely. Place. Position box on south-facing window sill. Angle toward plants. For north windows, add a $1 tea light candle, battery-operated, at the box's base. Heat rises, light reflects. Pro tip: wipe pans weekly with vinegar water. They lose reflectivity when dusty. Heartfelt story. After my son's leukemia diagnosis, I built this reflector for his hospital room window. His favorite succulent, a gift from his teacher, had yellowed from low light. Within weeks, it blushed pink again. He'd trace its leaves while chemo dripped, whispering, "It's fighting like me." For small spaces, use mini loaf pans to create individual reflectors for desk plants. No south window? Place reflector opposite a white wall. Bounces light twice. Warning: never use real candles near plants, fire risk. Aluminum edges are sharp. Fold them inward with pliers. This reflector's wisdom? You don't need more light. You need to remember how to gather what's already there.
DIY number 3. Handmade terracotta pot warmers from socks. Feel that icy draft creeping under your window? Now imagine your spider plant's roots wrapped in cozy warmth, all for pocket change. That's the gift of dollar store sock pot warmers. Winter's cruelest wound? Cold roots. While we bundle in sweaters, our plants shiver on frosty sills. But here's the secret. Roots breathe warmth through fabric. I discovered this when my thrifted terracotta pots cracked during a minus 30-degree Fahrenheit night. Desperate, I wrapped them in dollar store socks. The next morning, my snake plant stood tall while neighbors' plants froze solid. That's not luck, that's fiber-deep care. Why this saves root systems? Insulation science. Wool socks trap air pockets, slowing heat loss 5 times better than plastic pots. Cost truth. 6-pack of thick socks equals $1. Yarn scraps are free from craft bins. Total cost, less than a cup of coffee. Plant armor. Protects tropicals like monsteras, ZZ plants, and citrus from window chill. Breathability. Unlike plastic wraps, socks let roots breathe while warming. Golden Garden Moments Warmth Ritual. Gather thick wool blend socks, $1 for 6-pack, twine or yarn scraps, $1, scissors, pot of room temperature water. Build. Dampen socks slightly. Dry wool insulates poorly. Slide pot inside sock up to soil line. Fold cuff over rim, tie twine around base to secure. For extra warmth, stuff toe with dried rice. Heats in the microwave for 30 seconds. Care. Remove sock weekly to check soil moisture. Never water through sock. Lift pot out. Pro tip: dye socks with beet juice. Simmer beets plus water 1 hour for beautiful planters. Transformation moment. During a blizzard that buried my town, I wrapped my entire windowsill in sock warmers. At 3 a.m., power flickered out. I wrapped myself in blankets and sat by candlelight, watching my plants breathe in the soft glow. One pothos vine brushed my cheek like a blessing. For renters, use knee-high socks for large floor plants.
No wool? Layer 2 cotton socks. They trap air between layers. Place pots on upside-down plastic lids, dollar store, to break cold floor contact. Warning, never use battery warmers. They overheat roots. If soil stays wet, remove sock immediately. Roots suffocate. This warmer's covenant. True protection isn't about walls. It's about wrapping what's fragile in something that remembers how to hold heat.
DIY number 4. Anti-draft window insulation from bubble wrap. Hear that whistle under your window frame? Now imagine it silenced while your fiddly fig sighs with relief, all for $1. That's the power of dollar store bubble wrap window insulation. Winter's stealthy thief? Drafts. They suck warmth from leaves and dry soil in hours. But here's the secret. Trapped air is nature's best insulator. I learned this from my grandmother, who survived the Dust Bowl in a drafty Oklahoma shack. Every November, she'd cover windows with bubble wrap from the feed store. Air pockets are God's blanket, she'd say, pressing her palm against the glass. Why this shields plants better than expensive kits? Thermal science. Bubble wrap's air cells reduce heat loss by 50% while still transmitting light. Cost truth, one roll equals $1. Fits any window size, cheaper than plastic film kits by 90%. Plant peace? Stops cold air currents that cause leaf drop in sensitive plants like crotons and gardenias. Reusability? Lasts 3 to 4 winters if stored flat. Golden Garden Moments Draft Ritual. Gather, bubble wrap roll, $1. Scissors, spray bottle filled with 1:1 water and vinegar solution. Build, cut wrap 1 inch larger than window pane. Spray glass with the solution. Press wrap bubble side against glass, smooth side out. Bubbles trap water, creating suction seal. Trim excess. Placement, use on the outside of the window if possible. Blocks cold before it enters the room. For plants on sills, cut U-shaped notches around pots. Pro tip, add food coloring to spray water. Pink is west windows, blue is east windows, so you remember which wrap goes where next year. Sacred memory. During the 2018 polar vortex, this wrap saved my citrus tree. Thermometers read -40°F with wind chill. My room stayed 8 degrees warmer than outside. At dawn, I found ice crystals glittering on the outside of the wrap, while my Meyer lemon tree bloomed beneath it. For renters, use removable mounting putty, $1, to attach wrap to window frames. No sticky residue. No scissors? Tear wrap along natural perforations. Pair with sock warmers for double protection. Warning: never use on wood-framed windows in humid climates. Trapped moisture causes rot. Remove wrap on sunny days to prevent overheating. This barrier teaches, sometimes the strongest protection is softness that remembers how to hold space. DIY number 5. Organic pest spray from soap and oil. Smell that faint, honeyed scent in your kitchen? Now imagine it repelling spider mites from your orchid, all for spare change. That's the power of dollar store soap and oil pest spray. Winter's hidden battle? Pests. Aphids, fungus gnats, and scale insects thrive in dry, warm homes while we're distracted by holidays. But here's the secret. Soap dissolves insect exoskeletons. Oil smothers eggs. I discovered this when my $50 orchid got infested during Christmas prep. Too stressed to drive to garden stores, I mixed dollar store dish soap and cooking oil. By New Year's, it bloomed again. That's not chemistry. That's kitchen table healing. Why this works better than store-bought? Botanical science. Castile soap, which is plant-based, kills pests without harming beneficial microbes. Neem oil isn't needed. Olive oil works in a pinch. Cost truth. 16-ounce dish soap equals $1. Small oil bottle equals $1. Total cost, less than a stick of gum. Plant safety. Non-toxic to pets or kids when dry, unlike chemical sprays. Safe for edible herbs. Prevention power. Weekly misting stops infestations before they start. Golden Garden Moments Healing Ritual. Gather. Clear spray bottle, $1. Fragrance-free dish soap, $1. Olive or canola oil, $1. Warm water. Mix. 1 teaspoon soap plus 1 teaspoon oil plus 1 quart of warm water. Shake vigorously before each use since oil separates.
Apply. Spray at dawn or dusk, never in midday sun. Cover leaf undersides where pests hide. Repeat every 3 days for 2 weeks. Pro tip: add 1 teaspoon cinnamon powder to mix. It repels fungus gnats and smells like holiday cheer. Heartfelt story. After my divorce, I found aphids on my peace lily, the last plant from my marriage. Spraying this mix felt like washing away old pain. As I misted, tears fell into the bottle. By spring, new leaves unfurled, green and strong. For renters, use travel-size spray bottles, $1 for 4-pack. No olive oil? Vegetable shortening melted in warm water works. Test on 1 leaf first. Some plants hate oil. Warning, never use scented soaps, they burn leaves. Overspraying causes residue buildup. Wipe leaves monthly with a damp cloth. This spray's wisdom: the gentlest hands often hold the strongest medicine.
DIY number 6. Seedling heat mats from heating pads. Feel that chill in your seed-starting mix? Now imagine warm soil cradling tomato sprouts in February, all for a single $1. That's the miracle of dollar store heating pad seedling mats. Winter's deepest freeze? Cold soil. Seeds need 70 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit to germinate, but most homes stay cooler. But here's the secret: human comfort technology saves plants too. I learned this from my Amish friend Ruth, who grows heirloom peppers in her unheated kitchen. She places seed trays on dollar store heating pads set to low. Life remembers warmth, she says, tucking a blanket around the pad. Why this outperforms expensive mats? Thermal science. Heating pads maintain consistent 80 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit surface temp, perfect for seed germination. Cost truth: 1 pad, $1. Plastic storage bin, $1. Total cost, less than a packet of seeds. Plant lifeline. Speeds germination 2x for slow growers like rosemary and lavender. Safety. Auto shutoff prevents overheating, unlike reptile mats. Golden Garden Moments germination ritual. Gather heating pad, $1. Auto shutoff model. Plastic storage bin with lid, $1. Thermometer, $1. Seed trays. Build. Place pad flat in bin, cover with folded towel, prevents direct heat contact, set thermometer on towel, plug in pad, set to low. Wait 1 hour, ideal temp is 75 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Plant. Place seed trays on towel, cover bin with lid, vent slightly open. Check temp daily. Pro tip: place pad on concrete floor, not wood. Concrete dissipates excess heat. Transformation moment. During a late frost that killed my garden, I started seeds indoors on this mat. One March dawn, I found 47 sprouts pushing through soil while snow fell outside. My daughter placed her hand over the bin, whispering, "They're breathing." For renters, use a cookie sheet instead of bin lid, better airflow. No heating pad? Fill hot water bottles with warm, not boiling, water and place around seed trays. Warning: never use pads without auto shutoff, fire risk. If soil smells sour, unplug immediately. Roots are cooking. This mat's covenant: the deepest growth happens not in perfect conditions, but in the warmth we create together.
DIY number 7. Self-watering systems from plastic bottles. Hear that drip drip from your overwatered fern? Now imagine steady moisture feeding roots while you're at work, all for recycled bottles. That's the grace of dollar store bottle self-watering systems. Winter's cruelest paradox? Dry air parches plants while we forget to water during holiday chaos. But here's the secret. Capillary action moves water slowly from reservoir to soil. I discovered this when my vacation coincided with a deep freeze. I rigged soda bottles above plants. Returning, I found them thriving while neighbors' plants died of thirst. That's not engineering, that's water's quiet faithfulness. Why this beats expensive systems? Hydration science. Water seeps through cotton wicks only when soil dries, preventing root rot. Cost truth. Plastic bottles equal free. Cotton yarn equals $1. Total cost $0 if you reuse containers. Plant freedom. Perfect for busy caregivers, travelers, and deep-potted plants like bird of paradise. Water wisdom uses 40% less water than manual watering. Golden garden moments flow ritual. Gather, clean plastic bottles, 20-ounce soda bottles ideal, cotton yarn or shoelaces, $1, drill or nail, potting soil. Build, poke small hole in bottle cap, thread 12-inch yarn through hole, not inside cap. Fill bottle with water, bury free end of yarn 2 inches deep in soil. Place bottle upside down next to plant. Calibrate. For thirsty plants, ferns, use 2 wicks. For succulents, use 1 thin wick. Pro tip, add 1 drop liquid seaweed to bottle water, feeds roots with every drip. Sacred memory. After my father's passing, I set this up for his favorite Schefflera. For 2 weeks, I couldn't face plant care. Returning, I found new growth where old leaves had dropped. The bottle was half empty, yarn dark with moisture. I held it like a sacred vessel. For renters, use glass bottles for beauty. Remove labels with vinegar soak. No drill? Melt hole in cap with heated nail. Adult supervision. Place bottles on saucers to catch drips. Warning, never use synthetic yarn. It repels water. Algae grows in clear bottles. Wrap in burlap scraps. This system teaches true care isn't constant attention. It's setting up channels so love flows even when you can't be there.
DIY number 8. Plant domes from clear shower caps. See that crispy edge on your calathea leaf? Now imagine it cradled in a personal rainforest, all for a shower cap. That's the tender power of dollar store shower cap plant domes. Winter's invisible thief? Humidity loss. Tropical plants gasp in heated rooms while we bundle up. But here's the secret. Microclimates mimic jungle floors. I learned this from my botanist aunt who grew rare orchids in her Manhattan apartment. She'd place dollar store shower caps over pots after watering. Plants remember monsoons, she'd whisper, adjusting the elastic. Why this outshines expensive terrariums? Humidity science. Caps trap evaporating water, creating 80% humidity under the dome. Cost truth? 12-pack shower caps equals $1, lasts all winter, cheaper than glass cloche by 95%. Plant sanctuary. Saves humidity-sensitive plants like nerve plants, begonias, and air plants. Breathability. Elastic edges allow gentle airflow, unlike sealed jars. Golden Garden Moments Sanctuary Ritual. Gather. Clear plastic shower caps, $1 for 12-pack. Bamboo skewers, $1. Scissors. Build. Water plant thoroughly. Place 3 bamboo skewers upright in soil, like poles. Stretch shower cap over skewers, elastic band resting on pot rim. Ventilate. Lift cap daily for 10 minutes to prevent mold. Wipe condensation off interior. Pro tip. Place small bowl of water under the dome, boosts humidity when temps drop. Heartfelt revelation. During pandemic lockdowns, my monstera sat under a shower cap dome on my desk. One April morning, a tiny leaf unfurled inside the misty world. I named it Hope. My therapist later said, "You created a world where new life could breathe." For renters, use shower caps as temporary covers during cold snaps. No skewers? Bend wire coat hangers into tripod frames. Pair with humidity trays for double protection. Warning: never seal completely. Airflow prevents fungal disease. Remove cap when new growth touches plastic. This dome's wisdom? Sometimes healing requires a small world built just for you. Conclusion. Your dollar store sanctuary. We've crafted 8 dollar store miracles today. Humidity trays, grow light reflectors, pot warmers, draft shields, pest sprays, heat mats, self-watering systems, and plant domes. But this isn't just a DIY list. It's a return to sacred resourcefulness. I know the voice whispering, but my hands are clumsy. My budget is tight. My heart is tired. I've been there. Years ago, after a late frost killed my garden, I sat on my kitchen floor surrounded by dollar store bins. I assembled a humidity tray with shaky hands, placed my last surviving succulent on it.
That night, I whispered to the window, "Help us remember." By dawn, dew glittered on its leaves like tiny promises. That's when I understood. Abundance isn't about what you have. It's about seeing potential in what others discard. Your sacred action plan starts tonight, not with perfection, but with radical tenderness. Visit your dollar store after hours when it's quiet. Run your fingers over bins. Feel what calls to you. Choose one struggling plant, that brown-tipped fern, that drooping pothos. Wrap it in one DIY this week. Make a promise to the earth. I will not waste. I will create beauty from what's forgotten. I know the doubt hissing, but what difference can a shower cap make? Let me answer with truth. Last winter, I gave a heating pad seedling mat to a single mother in my apartment complex. She grew cherry tomatoes on her fire escape all February. Her son ate his first homegrown fruit while snow fell. That's not crafting, that's community made visible. But more importantly, when your neighbor pauses on the sidewalk to admire your bubble-wrapped window garden, when your child waters bottle system plants while you cook dinner, when you inhale the soap spray scent while misting leaves, you're not just saving plants, you're saving the quiet magic of ordinary days. This is the Golden Garden Moments covenant I offer you tonight. I will not apologize for small budgets. I will create anyway. I will not fear imperfect hands. I will trust what love can build from scraps. Before you go, do this holy thing. Place your palm flat on an empty dollar store tray. Feel its plastic coolness. Breathe onto its surface. Whisper, "Show me what you can become." That warmth from your palm, that's the first seed of transformation. If this hour fed your spirit, pay it forward. Share extras with a neighbor. Tape a sock pot warmer to a coffee shop bulletin board with a note, "For anyone whose plants need a hug." Subscribe to Golden Garden Moments for our next journey. Thrift Store Plant Rescue. 7 ways to revive $1 sad plants. We'll breathe life into forgotten pothos and transform cracked pots into art. You are not alone. As I speak, elders in Detroit wrap terracotta pots in dollar store socks. Teens in Tokyo build bubble-wrap greenhouses on fire escapes. Single mothers in Oslo create bottle watering systems for refugee families. We are the quiet keepers of resilient love. Our tools are dollar store bins. Our battle cry is, "Grow anyway." Thank you for your courage, your hands in the soil, your refusal to let winter steal your joy. However small your space, however deep the snow, your golden moment awaits. Until next time, keep creating, keep sharing, keep your windows glowing with living light. This is not the end of gardening, it's the beginning of its deepest truth. I'm honored to grow alongside you. Good night, and blessed be.